What happens when the cheapest airline in America can no longer afford to be cheap? On May the 2nd, 2026, Spirit Airlines canceled every single flight, shut down customer service, and told passengers to not even bother showing up at the airport. Just like that, 34 years in the air was over. So what actually killed Spirit Airlines, and what does this mean for your brand? Let's get into it. Welcome to Brand Buzz with Reggie, where we explore the rise, the fall, and the future of the world's most iconic brands. I'm Reggie Whitley, your visionary brand coach, and today we're talking about Spirit Airlines. We're going to get into how they got here, what they did wrong, and the brand lesson underneath it all that applies directly to your business. Spirit started in 1983 as a charter operation called Charter One Airlines out of Michigan. They were moving people to Vegas, Atlantic City, the Bahamas, nothing fancy, just transportation. In 1992, they rebranded as Spirit Airlines and started running scheduled flights. And they found their lane pretty fast. Get people where they're going for as little money as possible. Strip out everything, charge for the extras, and fill every seat. And it worked. And in 2007, they formalized what they called the Bare Fare model. Base ticket prices so low that it almost looked like a mistake. Then charged separately for bags, seat selection, everything. Fares ran about 30 to 40% lower than any competitor. And by 2011, they went public. They were one of the most profitable carriers in the country. Yellow planes were everywhere, and everyone knew exactly what Spirit was. Cheap. That was the brand. That was the whole brand. But here's where it gets interesting from a brand perspective. Spirit was not just a low-cost airline. They were the low-cost airline. Price was not a feature of their brand. Price was their brand. Every decision, every strategy, and every communication was built around one promise. We are the cheapest option in the room. And it works until it doesn't. When the pandemic hit in 2020, their margins evaporated. And when fuel costs spiked in 2026, they had nothing left to absorb the hit. They tried to merge with Frontier, blocked. They tried to merge with JetBlue, a $3.8 billion bill, also blocked by regulators in 2024. So they filed for bankruptcy in that same year. They restructured and they emerged in March of 2025. Then they filed for bankruptcy again in August of 2025 and on May the 2nd, 2026 with a $500 million government bailout falling apart at the very last minute. They completely shut down. 17,000 people out of work overnight. Now here's what I need you to sit with. When Spirit tried to raise their prices to survive, their own customers left because the only reason most people chose Spirit was the price. One passenger said it plainly, for a short flight, I'll take Spirit, but for anything that actually matters to me, I'll go Delta. That's not a loyal customer, that's a transaction, and you cannot build a sustainable business on transactions alone. When your entire identity is built around being the cheapest, you are one bad economic season away from having nothing left to offer. You cannot raise prices. Why? Because you'll lose customers. You cannot absorb rising costs without raising prices. So you're stuck. And with no customer reputation to fall back on, no quality perception to justify a change, no loyalty to carry you through a hard season. Spirit spent 34 years building a brand that worked perfectly in ideal conditions and fell apart completely when conditions changed. Budget brands are not automatically bad brands. No, Walmart built an empire on price. McDonald's has fed billions, but those brands invested in consistency, in systems, in just enough of an experience that people kept coming back when they had other options. But Spirit never built that. They built a race to the bottom and they won. And winning that race still left them with nowhere to go. So before you decide that being the most affordable option in your industry is your whole strategy, ask yourself this. If you had to raise your prices tomorrow, would your customers still choose you? If the answer is no, you don't have a brand, you have a discount, and discounts have an expiration date. Spirit knew what they were known for. The problem is, what they were known for couldn't save them when it mattered the most. So what will your brand be known for? I actually did a full episode on this exact topic on my The Brand of You playlist. It breaks down the 3 pillars every brand is built on and why dominating just one of them is what separates brands that last from brands that fade. I'll put it on the screen. Click to watch it now. I'm Reggie Whitley, and this has been Brand Buzz with Reggie.